Today we will be attempting to make las patatas riojanas with me, Isham. All good cooking shows start with a prep. Prep is the most important part of any good cooking show, and this is the best cooking show, which is why this video was taken in one take and not sped up. That's right, this is real time. I can cut that fast. Now we are about to come up upon the part where I almost cut my fingers off. Please, do not tell my mother. As we come up to the end of our prep, you'll now hear that wonderful sound of the stove clicking on. Ah, yes. Now you will see I'm going to add the first ingredient, grapeseed oil. Why not extra virgin olive oil? Because I'm not a virgin. I'm a grape. This grapeseed oil will serve as the base for all the other ingredients. It'll be used to mix and to enhance the flavor of the entire dish. Here we add 2 cloves of garlic. Unfortunately, I was not lucky enough to find a leprechaun to steal the cloves from, so instead I used paste. Garlic paste is a substitute for garlic cloves. As you will see, 2 teaspoons of garlic paste is equivalent to 2 cloves of garlic. Now it is time to add our first solid ingredient, onions. We want these onions to become a caramel brown color once they're done cooking, so we must stir them regularly. If you are wondering, here's an overhead view of me vigorously stirring the onions. Don't worry, we'll come back to them later. Now it is time for the co-star of this dish, the chorizo. Unfortunately, this was a beef chorizo and not a pork chorizo. This means as I cut it, it balls up into little chunks of meat instead of thin slices. But don't worry, cooking is a learning experience. And instead of balling up myself and crying on the floor, I persevered through it for the sake of looking good on this video and continued on with the meal. Now it's time for an update on our friends, the onions. As you can see, they're starting to become a nice caramel brown color, kind of like me during the spring. This means that they're ready for the chorizo. Now it's time to add, hey, yo, watch your knife, watch your knife. Like I was saying, it's time to add the chorizo. At first, I was petrified of getting burned by the grapeseed oil, so I tentatively add them in there. However, after gaining confidence, I just threw the balls of chorizo in there and let them begin cooking. Here, I begin to stir the chorizo and onions together. We will come back later for an update on this. Now it's time for that update. As you can see, it looks very different. Culinary experts would say that the beef chorizo has broken apart, which gives it its new grotesque look with the potatoes. However, I am no culinary expert. Therefore, my reasoning is that this soup has been possessed by a devil, and we shall now hereby refer to it as the Satan soup. Worry not though, this will not affect the taste. If anything, it'll give a little extra kick to that chorizo. With a not so surprising return, it's time to introduce our next ingredient, las patatas. These patatas, or potatoes, will cook alongside the other ingredients until they're a nice crispy brown. To ensure that the heat from the underworld is evenly distributed across all the ingredients in the Satan soup, we must stir and toss the dish regularly. Next, we'll add in a cup to a cup and a half of water. Make sure it just barely covers the tops of those potatoes. This water will serve as a mixing pot for our next spices. Make sure to mix well. Now, it's time to add in those spices we've all been waiting for. First, sprinkle in a little bit of salt with your personal flair. This salt will help enhance the other flavors such as the chorizo, potatoes, and onions. Then our paprika. Paprika is a substitute for pimentón, as the recipe called for. If you don't have pimentón because you don't live in Spain or don't have an international food store near you, paprika is an excellent substitute as they both come from the same chili family. Turn up that heat and make sure to be continually shaking and stirring this pot because we want to boil off 50 to 70% of all that water. This will turn it from more of a soup consistency to a sauce consistency, which is what we're looking for. When most of that water is boiled off, you'll get a nice, saucy texture like this. This is great. It means that you're ready to serve. Stir a little bit more, and then pour it into a bowl, and you're ready to go. Now, let's enjoy some gorgeous cinematography of our final product. Alrighty then, now it's time for the final taste test. You've put your blood, sweat, and tears into this dish. Let's see how it measures up. Okay, we're waiting for the judge's results. He gives it it seems like it's a heart stopper. Quite literally.